This amateur footage shows the moments before Concorde crashed. In July 2000, Air France Flight 4590 caught fire over Paris's Charles de Gaulle airport, just 2 minutes after takeoff. It hit a nearby hotel, killing all 100 passengers and 9 crew on board, as well as 4 of the hotel's employees. The French Aeronautics Investigation Bureau says the plane ran over a piece of titanium that had fallen off a Continental Airlines DC-10 onto the runway. The metal had punctured one of Concorde's tyres, which then burst. Debris from the blowouts pierced the plane's fuel tanks. Kerosene started to leak and eventually caught fire. Investigators say the piece of metal from the DC-10 fell onto the runway because it was made of titanium, a material not suitable for its purpose on the plane. That's why the Continental mechanic who made it and his foreman are among those standing trial.
What we have discovered is the way they practice aircraft maintenance at Continental is frightening. It is not reassuring for passengers to read about how such a big company like Continental carries out their maintenance.
The lawyer for Continental, Olivier Metzner, contests the claims.
This is just the official version. We are going to fight it and establish the fact that the fire broke out on Concorde 8 seconds before the aircraft ran over the metal blade.
The defence says it has eyewitnesses and evidence on its side. Experts have reported that Concorde was overloaded when it took off and a faulty part had been removed, though not replaced. But the same reports claim those 2 factors did not contribute to the crash. There might also have been other problems involved. This wasn't the first time a Concorde tyre had blown up. There had already been 40 incidents involving tyres since the supersonic jet first took off in 1969.
Concorde had weak points, dangerous weak points, structural fragility, nothing minor. These weak points had been known about since 1979, 21 years before the crash. On the 14th of June 1979, during a flight from Washington to Paris, the plane had to suddenly turn back because its tank was losing several tons of fuel.
The 1979 incident has many similarities with the 2000 crash. A tyre exploded at takeoff and debris damaged the fuel tank. But that time the pilots managed to safely land the aircraft. It triggered a series of changes to Concorde, but many believe they didn't go far enough. Experts say the fuel tanks should have been reinforced, but it was a very costly procedure for a not so financially viable aircraft. 3 men stand accused for these failings. Concorde's former chief engineer, a former member of France's civilian aeronautics watchdog, and Henri Perrier, the head of French Concorde from 1978 to 1994. All deny manslaughter, but face up to 5 years in prison and a €75,000 fine if found guilty.